Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, what we'll be doing is we'll be trying to create a monorepo using PNPM workspaces. We'll be having a couple of frontends. One frontend will be built using Vue.js, one will be built using React.js, and we'll be again having a backend which is going to build using Express.js. And to showcase one common utility file, like suppose you're building a library for your project Monorepo and you don't want it to be shared outside. So for that, we'll be creating a library also, which will have just a basic functionality, and that will be used in the both the front end as well as the Node.js backend. So before we get started, let us discuss some of the prerequisites. I am assuming you have Node installed in your system. Any version above 16 is good to go. My is 18, okay, but doesn't matter much. Post that you need to have PNPM installed. You can use this command to install it, okay. Anyway, I have installed it, but it's already installed in my system, so I'm not running this command. I'll be running just a PNPM init command. This is gonna basically initialize a package.json in this folder, okay, and post that I also run the get init command, okay. So that is it. Now post this one. I forgot to mention, we'll be using Prettier, Eslint, as well as TypeScript for this project. So for that, if you don't have Prettier installed in your VS Code, I would suggest you install it. You just need to come here and check it out, Prettier, and the first one is good to go. Okay, and post that install in the Monorepo also. After installing the Prettier, I would suggest you to create an ignore file. Basically, you would like to tell Prettier not to do formatting of the code on this locations, okay? Because you don't want them to be like suppose coverage, public, list files, as well as yeah. Anyway, so I'll write the Prettier ignore file, and I'll just copy paste this. So this is it, and I'll just create a Prettier RC file also to let whenever you're using a project to let basically you can do a lot of more configurations in Prettier. This file allows you to do that. So I'll just do that, and maybe I'll just keep it like this. I'll just add one empty object, and I'll just add this semi-true and semi-quote single quote true just to show you how you can configure it. That's it. And I've already done for VS Code extension. And yeah, one more thing is like there might be scenarios where your editor or someone else editor is not the same. So in those scenarios also, or maybe like you would like your what should I say, your default configuration of your VS Code and the workspace configuration to be different. So in those scenarios, what you can do is like you can use a hidden folder, I guess, VS Code to basically configure. So whenever a person is using VS Code, they will be prompted to use these default configurations. So one second, it should be a folder. Just delete it. Inside that, we need to create a settings.json file. And inside a settings.json file, you can do a lot of stuff. Basically, you can whatever configuration you can do here, you can do it in your what should I say here also. Open workspace settings JSON. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here, and I'm telling it to use the default format as ESBN Prettier VS Code. This you can get through. This is very important. This ID. Okay, this you can get through. Like suppose let me come to Prettier, Prettier.io. I think this is the correct place. No, I guess. Where was it? Let me come here and search Prettier Visual Studio Code. As you can see, this is the unique value. So suppose if you would like to install different extensions in your workspace settings, you can do like this. You need this ID here, if you can see. I don't know if there's another place where you can find this ID. Let me know in the comments if you know about it. Okay, anyway, let me close this. After installing Prettier, now we'll be configuring Eslint. And I'm doing everything in the root. This is very important, okay? So I'm doing it in root, all the Prettier and Eslint configurations. Oh, I'll be using none of these. I'll be using TypeScript, browser, JavaScript, yes, PNPM, installing it. So let us discuss one thing. Like suppose Prettier is mainly for code formatting and ESLint is for your code quality changes. Like suppose you would not like suppose console to be used in production. Suppose just to give you an example, and you'll be using a no console ESLint plugin. Suppose in your config file. So in suppose in, so if you're getting my point, like ESLint is mainly for code quality changes and Prettier is mainly for code formatting concerns. So, but there are rules which might be conflicting in both of them. So for that reason, what we'll do is like we would need to disable some of the plugins which are intersecting both ESLint and Prettier. We would like on Prettier to only focus on the code formatting aspects and linter, which is our ESLint, to focus only on the code quality concerns. So hence we'll be using a plugin which is nothing but this ESLint config Prettier. We need to basically install it first, and we need to come to our ESLint plugin configuration, which is coming, which we got here, ESLint rc.js. We need to paste it here. That's it. Uh, I'm not sure if we have to do any more configuration, but I think this works fine. So I'm just keeping it this much minimal. Okay, now I think we can focus on the some more stuff. Like suppose we would need to have the package or JSON also have those linting files. Suppose if suppose a developer who is interacting with this monorepo doesn't have VS Code, and you would like, and suppose for some reason he doesn't have the plugins, VS extensions also available in the code editor. So for those scenarios and all, you can have the commands also in the package or JSON in a monorepo. So I'll just copy these lines. These lines are basically gonna set these commands. You could have come here and done manually also. Right. As you can see, it has basically copy pasted ESLint dot and format prettier minus minus right dot. So lint is basically gonna check is basically gonna run ESLint throughout the monorepo, and format is basically gonna run the prettier throughout the monorepo. Okay, and that's it, I guess. And yeah, so with regards to Prettier and ESLint, some couple of more concerns are there. Like suppose you don't want the developer to basically run the ESLint or Prettier again and again manually. Okay, so instead of that, and so and it's not a good practice also in one way. So what we can do is like we can install a pre-hook which is with the help of Husky. So what will happen is like whenever a developer is committing the code to monorepo, it will basically run this s- uh, basically it's gonna run ESLint as well as Prettier. Okay, so I'll just copy these commands. And one more thing, just to let you know, like I'm not taking it out completely of the air. So you have this setup here itself. Okay, I've just modified slightly wherever required. Okay, so if you are interested, you can come to prettier.io install and just check it out. And these commands are here also. Okay, now I'll just copy these lines. This is basically gonna install write the command for Husky, which is gonna again is gonna install lint stage package as well. Okay, and we need to come to a monorepo and just configure it. I think it should be here only. Let me check. So we are basically telling it to run lint stage basically run. Let me open. I think it's already opened here somewhere. It's gonna basically run it. Okay. So what it will do is like it's gonna run and check first the ESLint, and then after that it's gonna run Prettier. Okay, that is it. And did I miss something? I'm not sure. But anyway, I think we can go ahead. I don't think I've missed anything major stuff. Okay, and this also has created a pre-commit hook here also, as you can see. Let me close all the files. Okay, now we can come to the main crux of this whole video. So first of all, we'll come here and create a workspace.yaml. This file is very important because it's going to tell PNPM that's a workspace, and we can register what kind of packages do we want inside it. Okay, it's very important file. So you can just copy this line and just copy the packages. You need to have these packages, and here you can give arbitrary names. I'm giving apps libs. You can give whatever you want. Okay. So after that, we need to create those folders. Apps is going to contain the what should I say? The front ends as well as the back end, and libs is going to contain the common utility library, which I told you previously. Okay, post that. Now we can come to first we'll do the utils one. So let me copy these lines and come to libs. Let me first copy vite utils. I think it's gonna ask me stuff. I'll be using vanilla. I'll be using TypeScript. Okay, I'll just copy these commands and paste it. Let us come to source and delete all the unnecessary stuff because we don't need a lot of this stuff like styles and index files. Okay, no need of this also. Public is also not required, I guess. Yeah, I guess this is enough. I think it ran it. Okay. This is done, I guess, and let me clear this also. tsconfig. I'm not changing anything here. Okay. So let me write the code, what it will have first. I'll just have the main.ts file and paste it. This is just a basic utility which is not gonna check if it's an empty file, something or not. Okay, just a basic common thing. I'm trying to keep it here. Okay, and this will be used in the front end and as is the back end. Okay, so and now what you have to do is like we need to run some code also here. The thing is like there are two things here. Okay, concerns. Suppose this common utility, if it's being used in front end as well as the back end, do you want to manually build it again and again? Because if it has TypeScript, okay, so you would need to have the bundling done for you to use it in throughout your front end as well as back end. So in that scenario, would it make sense for you to do it manually again and again, or can maybe you can automate it? So for that reason, what we'll do is like we'll run this. We'll just have this command also, pnpm run build minus watch. That whenever any change happens in this lib file, utility file, it's basically gonna build it itself. Okay, so that our front end as well as back end can use the latest one, use the latest build output of this utils folder or project, you can say. So I have to come to package.json. I'll just replace the dev, right, with this. Okay. You can do some more configuration. I'm trying to keep it simple how much I can. And one more thing is like since we are using TypeScript, there are different ways of getting us getting the types out of this utils folder when we do the build output. We can use tsconfig. There, I think there is some option to do that, but we'll be using some other package which makes it more easy in the long run. So I'll be using that, which is nothing but vite plugin DTS. So I just need to copy these commands and just paste it. I'll just do that now itself when it's still downloading. So I think it's in. Okay, I did not create a vite file. Vite dot config dot ps. Import bts. These are from Vite, I guess. It's gonna be define config and Resolve is I think in path, I guess. Let me do a reload. Sometimes my laptop has some issues. So define config is from vite, resolve is from path, DTS is from plugin DTS, resolve name. Okay. And we'll come back to it if we find any issues as such, but let me explain you what I'm done here. I basically created a vite.config.ts file in which I have basically imported define config as well as a vite plugin DTS, and I've registered a plugin DTS in here, as well as I need to come here and one more thing. The thing is like we want this utils as a library, not as a you can say front end or back end in one way. So we would like to use it. So we are using the lib option of vite. Let me go to a show you the documentation. Here, if you come here for building for production, you can come and explore it. Here, I've just come to the customizing the build, not here, I guess, library mode. You have to come here and you can see you have a lot of options here. I've done a minimal changes here which were required for this utils library. So I have an entry which is nothing but the entry file location as well as a name for this whole project build, I guess. Okay, and that is it. Okay, and I think let me check package or JSON. Anyway, we'll see if we find any issues. Okay, but anyway, now we have written these files and ts config is okay. Now we have to come back here. Like as you can see, we need to introduce these couple of exports as well. Okay, so what I'll do is like I'll do be doing the minimal, which makes it work for me at least. Okay, so main and module. Just to show you, let me do a PNPM run build. As you can see, we got a test which has CJS and as well as which is nothing but common JS code, I guess, UMD1. And another is like using module ESM, I guess. So what we can do is like we can basically register this whole library. Basically, it can use either the UMD way or otherwise the latest ESM way also. So that's what I'm doing here. So in the package of JSON, I need to just basically tell which file it is. So for CJS, it will be what? Utils dot umd dot cjs as well as utils dot js. Let me see whether I've missed out anything. Main is gonna go for cjs by default. Otherwise, if it's module, then it's gonna go with utils dot js. And what the types? As you can see, we got the types also. We need to declare them also. So it's gonna be slash dash slash main dot d dot ps. Okay, I think this should work fine. Yeah. Let me close others. So we have the lib folder now. Okay. And uh, I'll just delete it. I'll just keep it for now for the first start. And now we need to come and install TypeScript. If you have not installed globally, I would suggest you do it now. Okay. Using this command npm install ig TypeScript because we need to first create the backend also now. So we can first of all go one step back. No, two step back, I guess. CD apps and make directory backend. Now we need to create tsconfig here for the backend. This is gonna have a lot of stuff. So I have found a configuration which works for me very good. So I'm gonna be using that. I would suggest you tweak it out how you feel fit. But I think this is enough for this whole demo application, I guess. So I'll just replace everything here with tsconfig.json. I just wanted to show you the TS in it because normally you would come here and just see which one works while navigating all these comments. But since I know, I'm just doing it now manually again. Okay, so this is the basic configuration I have done for this backend. Okay, now we need to come to the backend, and I think I just created node.json file. S- I'll be using nodemon to basically run this backend. So for that, I'll be using nodemon.json to configure how the nodemon can be run. The different ways for you to configure. I'll be just using a simple thing, which is I would like to basically register exec map ts node esm. So what it does is like whenever while writing this code here, like what I'm doing is like whenever a TS file is encountered, it's basically gonna use. So now after we have configured nodemon.json, so now we need to install a couple of packages for the backend of ours. But yeah, before that, let us basically create a PNPM init file, basically package a JSON file for the backend. Let me come back. I think it's apps backend. It's gonna be PNPM init. Now we've done this. So yeah, the package of JSON. Let's try to add a dependency here. We'll be needing express course. Sorry, should be PNPM add course. And to keep TypeScript happy, we'll add couple of types at the rate of types, course, types, express, think nodes as well. Let me see if I've missed out any of them. Type course. Oh yeah, I need to install this one. Should be what? TS node as well. Because we need to basically have this TS node hyphen ESM. This TS node hyphen ESM is just a shortcut of writing TS node. I think minus hyphen hyphen ESM, I guess. Let me show it to you. There's something here. As you can see, this is the one. So I'm just using TS node itself and using the ESM one because we are using in our package of JSON we have declared that we are using what I think somewhere we have declared, I guess. Oh, it's not declared and we need to declare it. Type as module. That's why we need the ESM one. I'll just write the shortcut ES node ESM. Okay. Uh, this was it, I think, and we can now create an index.js file, or you can say an app.ts file in our backend. Okay, and if I think I have the code here somewhere. Let me just copy this code. It's just writing a basic backend of Express. Nothing special there. We have the Express, we have the cars, we have the utils. This is important, which I'm going to touch now. But we have nothing here special. But we are trying to use the isEmpty functions, which we are getting from, which we can get from the libs utils package. Okay. So for that, we need to basically we have not declared from where we are gonna get this utils file, this sorry package. So for that, we need to come to package.json and we need to come here and you can write here for the dependencies utils colon workspace colon star. So basically, it's gonna look out in the workspace and it's gonna give you the latest version of utils package. Okay, this line is that's what it's trying to say to you. You can do some extra stuff as well here, I guess. Is it? Anyway, you can check out the PNPM documentation. You can do more configurations for this if you would like some customizations there. But I'll keep it simple here. And let me create a dev script also. It's gonna basically run the nodemon src app.tss. And whenever it encounters the app.tss, it's gonna basically run ts node before executing ts file. And we are gonna get our express running up based on the code here, app.ts. I think this should have gone down. Reload my window. Hopefully it works fine now. Now let us run the backend ones. Okay, just for a safety check. It's saying it has failed. If we come to package adjacent, okay, it doesn't have the app.ts. I'll just create a source folder itself here. Place it inside. Run it again, see. Now let's see what is the issue. Cannot find module or it's into. Okay, I understood what's the issue. The thing is like when we have declared in the package.json that we are going to be using what utils as a package, we have not installed it. So we need to install it. So what I'll do is pnpmi. As you can see, it now has done a symlink for this whole utils project which we have built in our libs folder package, you can say. Now let us run it. As you can see, it's working fine, and I think the error should go up also now. Yeah, it's working fine now. So we have the server running now. Uh, just to show you whether everything is working, let me run it again. Localhost 5000. As you can see, it is not empty. Okay, and now let me come here and just write something. Sorry, I'll just write null. And it has basically the nodemon has run it again on the same port 5000. So it should work fine. Let me refresh it. It is empty. Okay, you can just put some ABC value if you are not comfortable with an empty object. Okay, anyway, so we have the backend running now. Let me close it now. Now we need to create two front ends of our own, and we have to see whether our front end is able to connect with the backend as well as use the common utility library which we're using it. Okay, so those are two things which we need to do. So for that, let me run the commands again. Let me close all of this, close others, and let me come to what root level and create what PNPM create vite. I'll write React frontend. Simple name. React TypeScript PNPMI. Similarly, I'll create a view also at the same time. This is gonna be a view frontend. Simple name. As you can see, everything has got installed. Okay. Let me come to app.tsx. And first of all, let me do a fetch call. Fetch what? HTTP // localhost colon 5000 dot then data implies data.json dot then data console dot log data. And let me write it in use effect. Use, and I would like to only run it once when the component mounts. Okay. And in here, I need to come, where is it? In the package.json for the dependencies, I need to again write something similar like how I've done for the backend one. I've tried utils, colon, workspace, colon, star. Okay. And now I can use it like how I've done for that previously, how I've done in the backend. Import utils, what is empty. Okay, I need to again install it. I think I messed up. PNPM. Again, it has created a symlink for the libs utils. We save it. Is empty. I'll just write some basic stuff here. Three. It should be what? One curly brace. ABC. Another is for null. Let me now do the for the view also similar. Then we'll just run everything together. Okay, as you can see, it's running from 5000 port. Let me just copy this code. Come to Vue.js one, and for on mounted. If you're not familiar with Vue or vice versa, you can just check. It's just some basic code I'm writing, nothing special there. Okay, so on mounted I've imported, and I'll just copy this pre tags also. App.view pre, and I think I need to write two curly brace. I have to come to package.json, come here, write utils, colon, workspace, colon, star, and for view also I need to do PNPM I need to import this function now. Done. As you can see, we have written all the code. Now what we want to do is like we would like to run our libs in the watch mode. Our our front end as well as the back ends also we would like them to run at the same time. Okay. So for that, what we can do is like we need to come to our root level and we need to write the command. I guess we have it here. Okay, I don't have it. Let me write it here. Think. Let me check the command line. It's gonna be dev. You write pnpm minus minus parallel because you would like everything to run in parallel. Then we'll just write stream and we would like to run it recursively. Def. Now let us go back to the root level and you have to write pnpm run def. Let's see if everything works or not. As you can see, it has started our what front end, back end, our utils also it's running in watch mode. So now let us try to see everything whether it works or not. Our server is running at port 5000. Our React is running at 5173. Vue is running at 51474. 5174. Let us see now. Localhost 5173. You can see this is working fine, I guess. And let me show you the backend. It's able to respond to the backend also. I'm showing you the console now. As you can see, it is able to interact with the backend. Similarly for Vue as well. 5174. As you can see for this also, it is able to interact with the backend, and we are getting it is not empty, it is empty now. here also. So our front end is able to communicate backend, and we are able to also utilize the common utility library. To show you the magic here, now suppose I would like to come to the utils file. Where is it? Yeah, sorry. And let me write it is empty. It's not empty. Save. Now, if we come to our front end here, as you can see, we are getting this. Similarly for here also, we're getting this. For backend also, we are getting it, I guess. No. For backend, I think we need to do some stuff here. We need to come to our backend. I think it's app.ts. And let us save here. Control S. So it restarts it. Now let us see. As you can see, it's working fine now. So I think this was at the I think end of this video. I have went through the whole basic introduction. You can say how you can go about creating this monorepo, and I'll be committing this code as well so that you can check it out and tweak it however you want. Obviously, this has been a very simplified application of how you can go about creating a monorepo. We have not touched any kind of heavy stuff like uh, caching and all the stuff. This line also was just the starter of how you can go about optimizing stuff. Where was that? Back in JSON. There are a lot more stuff which you could explore in the documentation. I did not want to go too much overkill on this. Let me know in the comments you would like me to whether go more deep dive on these or not. Okay. Anyway, I'll be giving all these commands as well as I'll be having all this code in the GitHub so you can check it out in the YouTube description as well. Okay. And thanks for watching till here and hope to see other videos as well. And bye.